Okay, so we moved from small, now we're moving up bigger. So we went from chemicals and atoms to macromolecules to cells. Now we're moving to groups of cells or tissues. We're not at the organ level yet. Okay, so histology. So that whenever you see ology, that means study of something. So study of tissue. Histology is not the study of history; it's the study of tissues. And then what we have here are the heart, and then we have the heart and what you do with histology or what a histotech. So this is another job. It's not a nurse, not a doctor, but very important occupation, and that's in allied health. So what they do is sometimes take slices of tissue and they embed it in some sort of there's different ways of embedding it, but what they do is kind of take little slices of this tissue. And kind of like this we have here with like a carrot and you're taking little slices. That's what they're doing there. But they're taking these very thin slices and then they look at it under a microscope to look at the cells and how the cells are arranged in that tissue. Then you might see something like that. Alright, so hematoxylin and eosin staining or H&E staining. So why am I covering this? Well, it's a popular histology stain and actually it's very cheap, pretty quick, and it shows you a lot of the cell structures. So actually if you took a cell or just took a slice of tissue and just put it on a microscope slide, it would look like this. And when you're looking at this, like, is there anything really on there? And that's the thing, like when you look at all the histology microscope slides in the next or in chapter 4, you'll see that they're all these like vibrant colors of pink and purple and kind of like our banner over here. But there's actually a tissue slice here, and you can see it's very hard to see, but there is a faint tissue slice right there. So what they often do is this H&E staining to make it more visible, because now, so again, your cells aren't naturally pink and purple, but by treating them with certain chemicals, you can make the cells and the parts of the cells more visible. Okay, so this is another, actually so this is a different type of staining, actually jam cell staining, but it's a similar sort of thing. Like these are cells in your blood, and your blood cells, your red blood cells are red, but the other cells in your blood, they don't have this like bright pink and purple like we see here. So your cells aren't pink and purple. It's due to the sort of chemicals we treat them with to make them more visible. So hematoxylin, it binds to negatively charged molecules, and what we see, at least here, is that it also stains DNA and RNA. So in your cells, DNA and RNA, due to those phosphates, remember that sugar phosphate backbone that makes up a nucleic acid? Well, those have negative charges. So hematoxylin, this dark purple stain, actually binds to the phosphate there, and this is why you see, especially in this lymphocyte, you see this big purple, dark purple sphere. That's the nucleus of the cell. And many of the cells in your body, whenever you apply this H&E staining, then their nuclei turn purple. So it's really easy to visualize the nucleus and actually count the cells, because if a cell has a nucleus, then you can count the amount of cells you see in that slide. Now eosin, this is kind of like slightly pinkish, slightly reddish color. So instead of binding to negatively charged molecules, it binds to positively charged molecules instead. So what it does is it tends to stain things like amino acids. They tend to stain this kind of pinkish color with H&E staining. So if you have like a muscle cell that has lots of protein, it's not due to the myoglobin, or actually it's not due to the myoglobin itself, but the myoglobin and all the proteins are staining even redder with eosin. So again, your cells aren't naturally pink and purple. It's due to this H&E staining. Now, there are 4 main types of tissue in your body, and these are categories. So epithelial, connective, muscle, and nervous. Now, if you have the Martini version, you notice that chapter 4 is a big beast of a chapter. And I think the reason why is they're trying to cover almost everything about all 4 types of tissues and have a lot of histology in there at the same time. Now, muscle and nervous tissue we cover later on in this semester. So in terms of what you should know about muscle and nervous tissue, in the OpenStax version of the book, they have a few paragraphs. That's what I really expect you to know at this point. We have time for the details about muscle and nervous later on this semester. For this first unit, you should definitely focus on epithelial and connective tissue.